Unfortunately, it took place through the murder of one of my friends. One of my friends was tragically murdered. He go by the rap name of Trader Kid. He was murdered in Annapolis, Maryland, and immediately when he passed away, I knew how important he was not only to me and his family, but to the city. And I'm like, while all of this chaos is going on, let me figure out a way to memorialize him. You definitely got to keep a good pace and keep your eyes out, because even if I let a kid stray away too far and then they start going in their own thing, they'll definitely mess up. But I tell them, because I don't want them to be feeling like they walking on pins and needles. So I tell them, like, be open to mistakes. It's not rare for us to have a mistake in a project. We just got to find out how to fix it.
Right.
Being in places, even if you're not doing a project, some artists only show up to where they working. I like to show up and support other artists as well. So if I see somebody I follow and they doing a mural unveiling or they asking for public help, I'm going to pop up. I might not even want to get paid. It's just to really, brush shoulders, and I might find out something new that I never experienced on your project from being there. You know what I'm saying? So
the harder you grind, the bigger you dream.
The harder you grind,
The bigger you dream. Hey, the harder you grind,
the bigger you dream.
Whoa, whoa.
The harder you grind,
The bigger you dream.
The harder
you grind, the bigger you dream.
Let's get it, let's go. Harder you grind, the bigger you dream. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. I said the harder you grind, the bigger you dream. I said you're up and I'm up. Y'all now tuned in to the Grind Hard Dream Big Show. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. I got a special guest in the building. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people, man.
it's good, people. It's your man, Karma Cell Brown. A lot of people know me as Cell SpitFire, one of the creative forces behind Tunnel Vision, Chase Your Dreams Initiative. And you might have seen my murals around the country, man. That's what it is.
Nah, for real, man. Long overdue, man. I'm super duper excited just to have you in the building today, man. How you
Pleasure to be
feeling,
here.
man?
Feeling good, man. Just finishing up the holiday break, you know what I'm saying? Getting ready for this 2026 grind. And I'm just excited, man, for real. Everything been going good. No complaints at all.
Facts, man. I ain't gonna say likewise. Fam good,
Yeah.
God good, man. We all good.
For sure.
Everything's good over here, man.
Yeah.
Can't complain, man. Can't complain, man. So like, you know what I'm saying, for the upbringing, man, like, where you were born, where you were raised.
So I'm from Annapolis, Maryland. But when I was rapping, I was making my way around the DMV. So some people might know me up in Baltimore, a lot of people down in DC, but Annapolis, born and raised, lived a little bit in Atlanta in college. So I was there from, I think, 2004 to 2007. Still got strong roots there. So, East Coast baby, but, down south at heart, for real.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So like, I guess like the hobbies and the things that you found yourself like into early, like what were some of those things?
Drawing, man. It started as early as 5 years old. Like, I remember my granddad stumbling across me drawing some nude ladies out of a magazine, and the drawings was so good to his liking, he didn't think that I drew them, so I had to like draw one in front of him. But I just been drawing and doodling my whole life, man. Real creative. Like I said, I was drawing all throughout elementary school. In high school, I was hand painting T-shirts. I had a clothing line. I was partnered with a friend of mine, and that's what really I was really known for in school outside of sports. Like, people was always coming up to me buying T-shirts, and I knew I was so good at art that I had to pursue art school. So that's what drew me to the Art Institute of Atlanta, and I just been, I would say, progressing since then, because even when I was doing artwork back then, it started out from doing it on paper to T-shirts. And now I'm, the creative director and lead designer for Tunnel Vision, where I'm designing full-on clothing apparel and custom uniforms for sports teams, man. So I feel like in the art world that I'm in, it's always something new. It's always a surprise, but I'm a creative problem solver, so I find a way to get it done.
Nah, for sure. And I think that that's definitely dope, where you can, showcase a story through art.
For
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? Through drawing and things like that. And, having that interest being piqued early. You know what I mean? Because I think that sometimes when we're navigating through things, it's like, oh yeah, this is a hobby, or now you've actually turned it into like a lifestyle, passion, like this is what I do. So like, what was that moment for you where you're like, okay, I got something with this, and now it's like, okay, this is real. Like I've stepped into it completely. Like,
So unfortunately, it took place through the murder of one of my friends. One of my friends was tragically murdered. He go by the rap name of Trader Kid. He was murdered in Annapolis, Maryland, and immediately when he passed away, I knew how important he was not only to me and his family, but to the city. And I'm like, while all of this chaos is going on, let me figure out a way to memorialize him. You know what I'm saying? And murals was a thing that was just starting to pick up in Annapolis. But at that time, I wasn't familiar with doing murals, even though I was, creative problem solver. But I reached out to an artist named Jeff Huntington, who's well known around the country, but even more in Annapolis. And we asked him like, "Yo, would you mind doing a mural of my guy Trey?" We told him about his story, and he did it free of charge. And when he was doing the mural, he found out about my artistic background. He asked me like, "This is your friend. Would you want to help out on this?" And when I helped him out to helped him finish the mural, it came naturally. And I'm like, "Yo, even though I did this to memorialize my homie, like I want to continue this." So I ended up helping out on 2 more murals with him, and those 2 murals were of George Floyd first. We did that downtown Annapolis, and that picked up a little bit of media steam from CNN and a couple other news outlets. And the guy Jeff was like, "Let's really pick up on this momentum." He like, "I want to do something big of Breonna Taylor," but we had to search out a space. He was able to secure a basketball court at a park in Annapolis, and not only did I help him out on that, but I kind of helped him lead with all of the volunteers, because we had about 80 to 100 volunteers that came out that weekend to help. And that's why I felt like the leadership part of doing the murals came in, because it's like, yeah, I know how to do art, but how can I teach people here who may not have any artistic talent at all and get them to stay in line and make sure that this comes out to be a masterpiece. And after doing that with him, I was offered my first solo mural job, where I brought in a team of people, of my close friends that did artwork, and it was nonstop continuation from then. Like, just been constantly putting out. That was that moment where you said when it was real. Like,
Yeah.
I remember before starting that project, just being nervous. Like, it ain't nobody over my shoulders. I'm leading this full on. This is me. And that was it, man. I just been going heavy since then.
For sure, man, and I commend you on that, man, because they look like they take so much time. They look, beautiful when you see the picture, but you don't know like the before, the process, and the measurements, and all of those things. So like, as you're like navigating in the space, like, what do you like behind the scenes, like for the people that don't really know about art, like what goes into it?
It's a lot. With the preparation, one of the things that I teach even some of the artists that may be skilled, but they've never done a mural before, I tell them we got to watch the weather, because if it's an outdoor mural, weather can be a big deterrent, and it could either slow up your schedule, it could become a nasty disaster if you're not, prepping well. So it's about checking the weather is one big thing. Making sure you're doing site visits. Every canvas is different. Even when it comes to basketball courts, I've had some courts that needed some concrete work, and I've painted freshly done basketball courts. And then knowing what's your execution style going to be. Like, are we going to be using a grid technique to actually take your small artwork that you created and maximize it so you know exactly where the lines got to go? You know what I'm saying? That's one of the biggest questions that I get all the time. Like, how do you know exactly where to put lines? And I learned that the grid technique is one of the old school ways that you could do it if you're not really using technology. But speaking of technology, that's what I lean more into now. Using the Meta 3 headset. So, putting that on and being able to digitally put the artwork on the ground and work around that now. That's super easy. I don't need to wait for it to be nighttime for me to come out and use a projector. With the Meta 3S, you can go out and trace it any time, and you know exactly where it's going to be at. So I would, tell anybody trying to get into the mural games, try all 3 versions. Learning all of those different scenarios will help, because you never know. You might pull out your Meta and it stop working. Are you not going to do the mural now if your headset don't work, or if the projector don't work out right? So learning all of the different techniques of how you can actually put the artwork down is a huge step to getting started, and just making sure you making a checklist of the things that you need to do to get the project completed.
Nah, for sure. I definitely, like I said, I just learned a lot right then, what you was just basically sitting there saying, because it's like, going into it, I just be sitting there looking at the finished product, right? And it's like, okay, dang. But then it's like, oh, was this the design, or it was this much paint, or this much here, or wherever we needed to sit there and go with it. And I'm just seeing like, the evolution, year by year or project after project. So like when you're saying like it takes a team, like ideally like to do a mural, depending on the size of it, you're talking like what, 10 to 12 people or even more than that or less?
Well, for me, for my projects, I definitely stay under that many people.
Okay.
As far as like who's going to be on the project every day.
Okay.
Now, I do a lot of projects when I'm working with schools or youth groups or neighborhoods. And when I include them in, now we can get anywhere from 10 to 25 people.
Okay.
But the best way to keep control of that is to either put the people on a schedule or use the help that's there every day and split up the groups. So now I got some of my other artists helping lead those people through the project.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, because I was wondering, like, what would the delegation look like? It's like, all right, this is a mural, and it's like, all right. But if you got so many people that's trying to paint, it's like, whoa.
And it can get tough, man. Sometimes having people help out, especially kids, they can get super excited, and they start to move faster than what you want them to move, and they may spill paint or go to the wrong spot with filling it in. So you definitely got to keep a good pace and keep your eyes out, because even if I let a kid stray away too far and then they start going in their own thing, they'll definitely mess up. But I tell them, because I don't want them to be feeling like they walking on pins and needles. So I tell them, like, be open to mistakes. It's not rare for us to have a mistake in a project. We just got to find out how to fix it.
Right.
And with art and doing murals, in most cases, all of it can be fixed. So as long as everybody got calm, they calm and easy with that, then it's going to be a good project.
That's dope. I'm glad that you tell them that, because, like I said, especially with our youth, it's like, embracing those mistakes, but also being coachable in the process.
Yeah.
So it seemed like they're in good hands with
for sure,
with Coach Sell. For
Yeah,
sure, man. Yeah.
And it's
literally.
funny, man, to bringing up kids, it's funny because a lot of kids nowadays, when they can be talented in art, but they don't know how vast the art world is. If they used to just drawing on paper, they feel like that and doing canvases is like the only art you can do or make money off. So through this process, not only am I coaching them to finish this mural properly, but I'm, pouring gems in them and making sure I'm lifting up their spirits for like, man, you could do this. Like, it ain't even got to be murals. Like, art is so open. Like, I'm not a one-way artist. I'm versatile. I could do any type of thing. So even if you can't draw, it's like, I need a person on my team that's good in math to be able to do a mural. So it's like, if I may not be the best in math, let me get a smart kid over here to help me out. So I just tell them, man, it's more than just drawing.
Yeah,
to
that's
get
how
the stuff done.
got to build the team and add the value with different places. Like, if I ain't shop here, I know you shop here. Okay, cool. We can add the value. You know what I mean? And that's important. No, I definitely agree with that. So as you've been doing this, like, how is like networking for you? Because I know that, you got a skill, you got a talent and everything, and then you just start going. Like, how is networking for you, and what does that mean to you?
Me, it's funny. I'm gonna speak for myself first. With me, networking is easy because I'm a people person. But a lot of the artists that I've run into or met throughout the process, not everybody so people friendly. A lot of artists that I've met aren't really sociable. They kind of stick to themselves, or when it comes to collaborations, they may be a bit hesitant. But I just try to make anybody I'm working with comfortable. I don't want us to be working on a project that may take 3 weeks and you feeling like, I'm not somebody you can talk to on that process. It'll make it awkward. So just being, communicative with a lot of people can help with networking, and being in places, even if you're not doing a project. Since some artists only show up to where they working, I like to show up and support other artists as well. So if I see somebody I follow and they doing a mural unveiling or they asking for public help, I'm going to pop up. I might not even want to get paid. It's just to really, brush shoulders, and I might find out something new that I never experienced on your project from being there. You know what I'm saying? So not just being a person that feel like they know it all, being out there always willing to be coachable and willing to learn, and just showing up anywhere where art or entertainment is going on. Keep yourself in the space.
For sure. No, I definitely think that's important. Networking is vital. You never know who you can meet. And then on top of that, just, just showing love and showing support.
Yeah.
That opened a lot of doors for myself. I
Mhm.
mean, started this in 2020, kept doing interviews and different community events, and that's how I was able to meet you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, just through the strength of being at a community event and support.
Yeah.
You know
But
what
I
I'm
will say networking is not the same for like drawing artists
yeah.
as it is like rap artists.
Yeah,
Because I
gotcha.
told you I did music before, and I felt like networking when I was doing music was a lot harder. Artists are more territorial. You might be better than somebody, and now they might not want to rock with you.
Yeah.
And I've noticed from art, it's a little different. If
Okay.
somebody better than you, you want to watch them and pick up some skills because art is learnable. So it might be something you're not good at one week that you may work on and get better in. Whereas so rap is a lot of straight talent. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
is
yeah.
what you is.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, facts.
You might make better songs, but for the most part, you're gonna be what you are.
right. I got you. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And I guess like with that community as well, and like networking and like you meeting people and like all that stuff. Like how's that been for you? Like when you kind of like look back, you be like, okay, man, we started here. Or I
Mhm.
started here, and now it's like here. Or
Yeah, it's unbelievable sometimes, man. Because even in this space with being an artist, I would have never saw myself painting works of arts at this scale, even back when I was young. Because I can kind of sympathize with some of the kids I work with now. It's like you may be good at art, but you don't really see what's your future there. And these same experiences that we talking about, and these networking things and opportunities, it takes all of those things to really get you comfortable to where you can look back and be like, I made some steps, man. Like,
Yeah.
and not been stagnant. So definitely experiences and not being just stuck in that one mindset.
yeah, for sure. And just seeing your work and what you've been doing, of course, like with tunnel vision and everything like that, just to see it grow throughout the years, and just you guys being consistent. Like, of course, it started with a vision and a plan. The name itself is, of course, tunnel vision. Like, you gotta have that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's just with anything in life, right?
Yeah.
But like for you to, embrace the role that you're in, like, can you talk about like that and just the whole like community that you have behind that, man?
Yeah, so that's actually a good segue. So with working with tunnel vision, it's been great because like I told you, I started out doing clothes in high school and I was working with one person and we kind of had a falling out. And immediately it was like a public falling out on Facebook, and it ain't have too much detail to it, but somebody put something up about me, and my guy Kyle at Tunnel Vision was one of the first people to reach out when it went up, and he like, bro, I seen what so and so said about you. Like, I'm here to support. I was already doing like little side jobs with Tunnel Vision, but not permanent yet. He like, you got a permanent spot over here. So, and it wasn't, when I made that move, it wasn't to like prove anything to the person that I left. It was really just to continue to do the work that I love. And I had already been kind of working with Kyle, so I knew his vision, you know what I'm saying? So I really had to step back from what I was doing and now become a part of this new movement and really do my research with him to figure out like, where did your dream start? How did you come up with tunnel vision? And when I really grasped the story that he told me, now I was fully brought in. And now I tell that story about tunnel vision like it's mine. And we've since brought in other pieces that have helped make this brand and family even stronger. And it was cool to go through that process because even when I thought I had it in the first spot, it showed me how much we didn't have all of our ducks in a row. And working with tunnel vision, not that everything was perfect, but it's like when you got all of these minds in a room, but everybody has that tunnel vision to see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Now you see how things work and things operate, and you see how the bigger picture, how now this is something that's not just going to benefit me and Kyle, but our kids, you know what I'm saying? Like making a legacy building with this. So
Yeah, for sure.
It's been great.
Yeah, like I said, I've been able to see it within the past couple of years from, the mural, obviously at the MBYO event, years ago, congrats on that.
Thank you,
That was
bro.
a beautiful mural.
Mhm.
I was glad to be a part of that event. Shout out to you, shout out to Shalice, shout out to everybody that's, doing work. I always sit there and tell my mother all the time, like, they embrace us like this is our second home. Like,
Yeah.
we just going with our second family over here, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it's just been love. And then even for that, man, like literally like, year after that, like, my birthday, like for the Guns Down event. Like that was just like
Mhm.
my mother was like, "Wait, who's gonna be there?
Yeah.
We just gonna go in the car?" And this was like we just went.
Yeah.
And like I said, seeing another mural of yours is
Mhm.
just a beautiful thing, just for you to consistently, just be consistent with what you're showing, man. And that was a beautiful mural as well. And it was, of course, at a community center. So we looking at it, I'm like, man, gotta get a picture of this.
Yeah.
Gotta do a drop.
And seeing
right
you
here.
get to link with one of your idols and people that you look up to currently, and like that's a good thing for me too, when I get to put people in spaces to where now they can make a step closer to their dream and
Yeah.
have nothing to do with me outside of me making an introduction. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that was good to see that moment for you
And that
as
was
well.
I appreciate that, and that was a powerful event as well. Like
Mhm.
from the education to the poetry and all of the workshops, and then of course the basketball game is just bringing community together.
Mhm.
So it's always inspiring and uplifting to always see that. Like
Mhm.
okay, you could be around your neighborhood and you see it there, and it's like dang, you could go somewhere else and you'd be like, man, I'm motivated and I'm inspired. That's something that's fire.
Yeah.
that's
And then
needed
even
and
yeah,
necessary.
even when you're talking about community, and it just made me think about it. Like I think when you hear it, you say it, people just think about like us and then the community, the people that actually live there. But it's like the police too, because
Yeah.
we've built such a strong relationship with the police department. When we having our toy drives or our turkey giveaway, like they're there. Those are the first people there, not only to just protect us, but they're bringing out coffee, donuts, food to be able to feed the people for free. And really, it helps them out too, because they get to really meet some of the people in the neighborhood that they may have thought they had issues with, or you know how all neighborhood people sometimes just don't want to
Yeah.
interact with the police, but you get to see a different side of them people. And even like from the event I just came from, like one of the officers that have worked a few of our events, he was working the basketball game. So just being able to have friendly conversations there with no weird vibes, you know what I'm saying? So when we talking about community, it's like really getting to know the full community outside of just the people that live there, the schools, the police officers, everybody that makes things move.
Yeah, for sure. And then when you're talking about like even the areas that you guys serve, it's like you're putting the spotlight on these these kids or community in general, and you're just giving them a voice,
Mhm.
and you're giving them a swag as well.
Yeah.
This it factor where I feel dope, I feel important, I feel valued.
Mhm.
So like I think it's bigger than just the design.
Mhm.
Know what I mean?
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
It's literally like, oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I'm bold. I got confidence. Like who say I don't? Like
Mhm.
look at me.
Yeah.
And you gonna perform better or feel better
Yeah.
because of that. You give them a uniform of like yeah,
Yeah.
it's me.
Yeah, I see that all the time. One of the young guys, speaking of like Severn in the area that we serve, when we first started the first basketball court there, they started to round up some of the youth that was going to help us out. And when they introduced them to us, I remember one of the young boys, it was like, yeah, this is the troublemaker here. He's always getting in trouble, but he ended up being one of my favorite kids. He
Oh,
was
wow.
very respectable. He wanted to do everything past painting. He wanted to pick up the trash. He wanted to make sure things was organized. And at the end of that process of the artwork, he was able to get a citation from the county executive with his name on it and the gold seal.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is powerful for you. I'm like, you can't go backwards when you got one of these. Like this right here is showing you becoming a young man and you being respected and acknowledged by a higher power. And it's like, you don't want to backtrack from that. And since that event, he's been one of the brightest kids in the neighborhood. He's up, his grades have went up. And we actually surprised him and painted him in one of our murals close by at the Severn Center. He's one of the kids featured in the mural. So now not only was he able to take part in painting one, but he can ride past another mural and see his face on it. So it just gives him that empowerment to be like, you know, it's bigger than this neighborhood that I grew up in. Like I can still be somebody,
Yeah,
even
for
through
sure.
harsh conditions.
That's fire, and that's fire, and that's more motivation for the next person.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I think that's definitely dope, and to see, your work, just travel. You know what I'm saying? Because on my side, I'm 5 minutes away from the stadium, so I'm gonna bring that up as well. But it's like, for you to do work at the Cabana Stadium and all of these things and building these relationships with these people, for them to trust you with your
yeah.
work, man, that's a testament to the work that you're doing, bro.
And shout out to the Commanders, man.
Yeah,
We
shout
ain't
out
have
to
a
them.
good year, man, but they making their way, man. We gonna be all right.
For sure. Yeah, I think that is also, like I said, but even with that and those experiences as well, man, and you being able to, just like meet people and then also just see where your passion and your gift and what God is, doing in you, where it could take you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's living proof, bro.
Definitely a vessel.
Definitely living proof, man. So just, I guess, like, for you, like, your motivation to keep going, though, like, what is your motivation to keep going? Because, some people will be like, man, you done met this person or you done met that person, but, like,
I would say the motivation, first and foremost, got to eat. I want to feed my family, and I've fully committed to running my own business and artwork being the driving engine behind that. So, and in order for my family to eat, I got to keep working. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to work until I'm 70. So outside of just working now, I'm structuring, at least from the mural side, to build a team of the same people that have been helping me and the younger people that I'm meeting. Eventually build a team to where I can still get mural jobs or put in proposals, but I don't have to be there to get it done. Gotcha. I'm teaching up the next group to be able to get out. Now I can take 3 murals at once. I might not be able to be at all 3, but I can assist in leading and putting the right people there to get it done. So it's just about expanding the business to where it can run without me. And then also I would say the parts, like I told you, being able to give back to the community and see the next generation not only just do artwork, but see inside themselves that, like, you can be a good person and you bigger than your own community. Like, don't feel like you boxed in. And by doing my work and experiencing these kids on a day-to-day basis or weekly basis, I see that I can help push them to that level. So that's what keep me going. Yeah,
for sure. And salute to that. Like I said, like, God, family, support system, like, that's very, very important in knowing your why. So each and every single time you have an opportunity to operate in your gift, I definitely see that at a high volume, and I'm always supporting it. Shout outs to obviously the Super Bowl design. I still got the shirt. I'm still rocking it. I got both colors.
Kendrick Lamar.
The Kendrick Lamar joint. That's one of my favorite artists too. But the red and the black, I got both. And I was just like, man, what?
And you wore it to the concert.
Yeah. I was like,
that was dope too to see that. And that wasn't even playing. Like, you just got it out the love for Kendrick, and then end up being able to attend the Commander Stadium, right?
Yeah, it was at
the Commander Stadium.
Red joint, threw it on, and I was like, I was like, man, he copped that joint. He just dropped it. Then say no more. I'm gonna buy it, like, right away.
But even on that note, like, I felt like I didn't really shoot for the moon like I could have, because in looking back, it's like I wish I could have did everything to reach out to Kendrick people and, like, look at this design. And who knows, we could have been as a piece of merch on the tour. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure people probably asked you, like, yo, where you get that?
Yeah, they did. A lot of people did ask me where I got that shirt from. Yeah,
I missed out, but still to know that shirt made an impact on you. And it's like, you live and you learn. You know what I'm saying? It's not nothing to dwell over, because it's going to be more concerts coming up, more artists that probably both of us support.
Yeah.
It's just about finding the right person to get in contact with and finding the right moves to make. That's all.
For sure. I was about to say, even when I was watching the fight a couple weeks ago, I was like, hold up, man. Like, wait, man, Lamar Rose got that joint on too? All right, that's fire. So it's just, like I said, but it's just, like I said, understanding the value, understanding the worth, and making those things happen, man.
And even with that job, man, it's all about people. Like I told you with Tunnel Vision, we always bringing on the right people. So shout out my man David, DJ24. He's known in the PG County, DC area as a DJ, well connected. Used to work with New Balance. He just came on the Tunnel Vision team and been, feet to the pavement right away. Like, he's been a lot of the reason why we've been making connections, like the Lamont Roaches and the guys from Power. The show, because of having good people on the team that know how to make, like, that's his forte. He knows how to make those connections and not selfish with it. So it's like, he's the reason we got that in there and we executed, we did our part. So it's all about having the right people on your team, man.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I definitely think is very vital and important, man. And definitely I would say to echo the same exact things, especially with, 2026, like, expansion is always going to be good. So definitely trying to expand the business. You always ain't trying to be everywhere, because you're like, yo, I'm just one person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as you expand your team and adding that value is very, very important, bro.
For sure. I mean, if you look around on the internet, on commercials, everybody's doing partnerships. 2026 is going to be a serious year of partnerships. I mean, look at the NFL. I've seen almost hot clothing line that I follow, doing a partnership with the NFL, from OVO to Carhartt. Like, all of these dope brands are starting to step outside of their normal comfort zone and even doing stuff with the NFL now. So it's like, it's Tunnel Vision as a brand. That's one of our goals this year. Like, not only just big brands like I named, but some of these brands down in DC. Like, we would love to link up with Museum and do a Tunnel Vision collab, because that's how we really can expand outside of our surrounding areas. You know what I mean?
For sure. I see that. I
Yeah.
already see that. I see a lot
For
of
sure.
things
Because
happening.
I really
because you're
respect
the
their
other-
brand and other people who grind. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
We might be in the same, field, but I ain't. Man, we do what we do. Y'all do what y'all do.
Facts.
And we can make it work together if we can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. That's how I feel about podcasting. Like, everybody has a podcast or whatever it is, but like I said, it's more when you collab, and everybody has like-minded individuals being able to do things for the community and just be better. You know what I'm saying? I started this only because I ain't like what I saw in the news. So now do something positive.
Yeah.
I like something positive, and those individuals that are doing, great things to uplift the community to, be better. That's
sure.
what it's all about.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why we here.
Yeah.
For sure. So like, so throughout it all, like, what's the self-care for you though? Like,
Self-care is definitely a peace of mind. I'm taking care of 4 kids, 2 of my own, 2 of my wife. So we all one big family. But I told her yesterday, like, for this holiday break, it's just been me and her. I'm like, this is important for me. Like, I love my kids to death, but I do need that time to myself. And holiday time is perfect because I don't have to focus on too much work. Because you see me, you follow me, I'm working all the time. So it's like, to finally take a pause and not have the anxiety from having to have something done by a certain deadline. I just need to chill. You know what I'm saying? I might need to smoke a little bit. That's part of my self-care. Having good friends to be around that I can talk to about anything. My guy Buddy, shout out to Bud.
yeah,
Me and him chill, if not every day, every other day. And if I got something on my mind that I need to let up, I'm gonna tell him. You know what I'm saying? And that's a great friend that I could trust in that type of information. And I know he gonna give me some good wisdom and guidance, or just a ear if I just need to talk. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
good. That's healthy, man. I always feel, I always encourage people to always find, something that you enjoy doing, and then obviously having that healthy community around you. You know what I'm saying? So that way it's like, all right, man, I got somebody I can go to, and I have a positive outlet of something I love to do.
Yeah.
That's going to, bring me joy, bring me peace, and bring me sanity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's definitely important. I mean, I love to run. I love to work out. So that's what I like to do. I like to journal a lot, listen to music, read books. I think that's definitely important, man. So that's what it is for me, man. I ain't gonna lie. So, and what keep me motivated, God, family, and support system. Like, I'm working for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger than myself, man.
Yeah.
So I'm just blessed, bro.
Yeah.
I'm blessed.
Mm-hmm. And being in the loop for me is a good thing too. Just knowing what's going on in my own community, because sometimes we could work so much that things pop in our community. Like, I didn't know that was going on, or like, I didn't know this person was doing that. So I like to, whether that be the newspaper or different community groups on Facebook, just staying in the now, knowing what's going on. That's a big part of my mental as well.
Facts, man. Any motivation you want to give to the people? Like, anybody that's, feeling like, all right, man, my dreams is probably on the other side, or like, oh yeah, well, how do I stay motivated, or how do I stay grounded, or if I want to chase this or do this, like, how do I do it?
Believe in the higher power. Expect the unexpected. I'm talking to somebody who's had many moments where I doubted myself, almost doubted my talent because of my circumstances. Growing up without either one of my biological parents and being raised by my grandparents at times, I had moments where I'm like, damn, am I really loved? But then I had to look past that and see my grandparents love me, and my grandparents put me in great spaces to support me even without having my parents there. So being that I've been through those type of things emotionally, I just say never give up, always keep faith, keep good people around you that can help you make those painful moments happy again. And yeah, that's it, man. Just make sure you keep a good crew around you and keep going at it. Don't let short-term mistakes or pitfalls hold you back, man. Because I've been there. I've thought that it was over with, because of things I might have done to myself or things I might have slipped into. But just having a belief in God and determination will get you there for real.
Nah, for sure. I think that, regardless of what, the thing that keeps you up at night, that idea, whatever it is, like just do it. You know what I mean? Like write it down, write the vision, make it plain, and just act on it. You know what I'm
And
saying?
stay
You
away
never
from
know.
the streets, man. I want to say that too. Stay away from the streets because I didn't have people in my family that I would say like tried to persuade me into that. But I think that if we see a lot of things, you don't necessarily need the persuasion to fall into it. So in my city, it was a lot of guys that wanted to use the streets as a means to come up and make themselves better. And I could have easily slipped into that. But I felt like I really just kept faith in what I believed in. And some of those same guys that I might have looked not envious to, but wanting to do what they did to make money. Now them same people come and see me and give me hella respect and commend me for not taking that route. So don't let the streets be like a easy way for you to try to make some money. Like, 6 months for 9. That's what you're gonna end up getting. 6 months of shine, you get 9 months behind bars. 9 years behind bars. So don't go for that short term flashiness. It ain't got no long term success.
For sure. Streets ain't for everybody. That's why they made sidewalks. You got other options. You know what I'm saying?
And I love the sidewalk.
Yeah. I love the sidewalks too.
Yeah.
I just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that that's important too. And just, like I said, build that, really just take that leap of faith and know who, just, believing in God and just knowing like, yo, okay, take that leap of faith. If you meant to do it, you meant to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm living proof. I ain't think, hey, I was going, I love to speak and everything like that, but I didn't think it was going to be, a podcast now, community events and, now you got your own leadership program and all of this stuff.
That's the part when I say expect the unexpected.
Yeah,
bro.
like all of these things is like you just got to be ready for and embrace.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've been doing. And like I said, it's been going on 5 years now.
Yeah.
And just staying consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I can't get up out of here without I brought you a gift. I know the people probably saw it. I wanted to gift you with some fresh television.
Man, I appreciate this.
Yeah,
so chase your dreams.
Yeah.
www.thetelevision.tunnelvision.com.
Yeah, make
I
sure
want
y'all
to
check us out.
It's the yellow joint.
Yeah, so we got our newest collection out right now. And this is
Man.
part of the Dreams Take Longer Routes collection. And that speaks to what I was just talking about with the streets. Like your dreams take the longer route. Don't try to take no shortcuts. So that's, that you get to wear something that I feel like you live by every day,
I appreciate that.
following the dream. You know
I
what I'm saying?
appreciate that. You got this joint too.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, man. That's love, man.
for sure.
I appreciate that. And like I said, just having tunnel vision, that's something that I tell myself every day. So,
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It just aligns, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Even with
man.
working with Lamont Roach, bro, he was doing interviews leading up to the fight with Pitbull, and he said something about having tunnel vision to be locked in for the fight.
Yeah.
And I turned to my man Kyle, who's the owner of Tunnel Vision. I'm like, man, it's a term that can be spoken by anybody because it's a real thing,
Sure.
And to hear him say that just naturally, it just showed like, yo, we got the perfect name for the brand, and it's what it is. Chase your dreams. You gotta have tunnel vision.
Yeah. I feel like, you gotta have tunnel vision, gotta grind hard, gotta dream big.
Yeah.
Like it's just one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, man. I appreciate y'all. That's so much love. Y'all gonna continue to elevate and expand and do so many tremendous things, man. I love what y'all do in the community. I love what y'all are, doing with the kids, engaging them. I'm seeing you, pop up at the schools and just talk to them, all throughout the county, man, and more. So I wish more of that for you in 2026 and just keeping it going, man. Y'all, y'all got my support and love.
Yeah, I would definitely want to say this on camera. You done invited me a few times out to, indulge and meet some of your kids that you work with. So hopefully in 2026, I can make some time for that because I know you passionate about your thing that you're doing and you passionate about them, and I definitely want to support.
For sure, man. We're going to make that happen.
Yeah.
For sure, man. That's love. So y'all already know, man. Like I said, man, if you don't follow this guy, you need to follow him. And I'm not saying that just because I know him and that's my brother, but I'm saying if you just want to see somebody that's dope, that's really like locked in on their craft, make sure that y'all follow my guy self, SpitFire. He definitely got fire on this page.
For sure.
I ain't even gonna lie about that, y'all.
Appreciate you,
and
man.
you already know, the harder you grind, the bigger you dream. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. I said the harder you grind, the bigger you dream. And we out.
Let's
Yes,
get it.
indeed. That was good. Yes, indeed.
Soundstripe.